So on the front row it will be AJ Arnold. So it looks like it's going to be from where they finished last time out. So it's AJ Arnold, Aidan Hassan on the front row. Behind them on row 2 will be Ollie Wise and Jack Sant. Then it's Mason Rudman, Sherry Ann Powell. I can now confirm that Joseph Katsantonis was not 3 laps down. We had a timing discrepancy. So he finished 7th, so he will line up alongside Damon Newton on row 4. Then it'll be Ryan Gill, Charlotte Stanley and Alfie Slater, who had that very wide moment just off turn 6. So engines now being started. Red lights are on the starting gantry. Grid will be cleared. 5-second board is shown to the drivers who are waiting. And lights out, and away we go for the second time for the IAME Cadet Intercart Championship. 3 wide with Mason Rudman getting involved there as well. He's trying to go for 4th in the initial phase, going into the first couple of corners. And he's currently running in 5th place at the moment. Joseph Katsantonis is about 3 karts behind, as we've got AJ Arnold and Aidan Hassan battling over the lead at the moment, but someone is trying to make some moves, as it looks like Mason Rudman has lost out on another place. He's now dropped down into 6th position. And that looks to be behind Jack Sant as well, so we're already into the first lap. And positions are changing quite dramatically, but the gaps between the drivers seem to be a bit more wider than the cadets that we just saw a couple of moments ago. So so it's still, just keep an eye for what's happening with the timing and also with what's happening on the track. So number 79, that's AJ Arnold back in the lead again for the second heat in succession. Then it's Aidan Hassan. Sherry Ann Powell now jumps up from 5th to 3rd place. But behind her is Ollie Wise in the number 55 and also Jack Sant as well. Now, Sherry Ann Powell has shown that she can defend very well against the boys, and it just goes to show that the girls can get involved and get their elbows out just like anybody else, and it's really good to see. So fastest lap at the moment goes to AJ Arnold, who's got a gap between himself and Aidan Hassan to the tune of just under 7/10 of a second. And we've got just over 5 minutes and 20 seconds plus an additional lap as Sherry Ann Powell is fighting off the pressurised advances of both Ollie Wise and Jack Sant. Mason Rudman now in 6th position at the moment. And not too far behind is Damon Newton. Joseph Katsantonis is currently sitting in 8th position at the moment. Alfie Slater, who had that drama in the last heat, just off turn 6, now up into 9th position. And he started from last. Ryan Gill and Charlotte Stanley complete the running order at the moment. Meanwhile, we've got this 3-way scrap for 3rd position. Sherry Ann Powell leading both Ollie Wise and Jack Sant. And is there going to be a move there? Yep, Wise goes up the inside of Powell going into turn 7. And Powell is quickly on his back bumper through turn 7 and 8. Down towards the boot they go. The trio was split by just over half a second last time around. And Powell again is using a very different line, but it's allowing her to try and close up on Wise as they come across the start-finish line. The gap between the 3 of them will make that there's three-way battles emerging right now. The battle for 3rd, which is Ollie Wise, Sherry Ann Powell, Jack Sant. Then you got 6th to 8th. It's Damon Newton, Mason Rudman, and Joseph Katsantonis. Rudman was not happy. A little nerf from the back of Katsantonis. And I would think that Joseph would be wise to give that place back. That was a bit aggressive, I think. And yes, Mason goes back in front. Now these two are hardened competitors, and there's a bit of sideboard robbing as well. So not just 1 but 2 clashes within half a lap between the numbers 15 and 1. Now these two have shown their credentials all the way through last season. Mason Rudman, O-Plate Dubai champion. Joseph Katsantonis, 2017 London Cup Bambino IAME champion. Bambino Kart Club IAME Bambino champion. O-Plate winner. And he won 4 titles last year. So you definitely know that these two are out to do trying to outdo not just one another, but the rest of the field. And it isn't plain sailing as it's side by side up the hill. That was a lot cleaner, but Rudman gives him returns the favour, so to speak. Now, race control, I think, should really be watching this, because I intently am. And it's only going to come to a matter of time when they come to blows and someone, not probably just the one, but maybe the pair of them go off track. And that won't help their seasons at all, even though we are in the first round. Andy Katsantonis saying to Joseph, just keep on doing your job, which is look in front of you and go for it. And Rudman is still right on his back bumper, and this is for 7th place on the road. As we see that the battle between Hassan and Arnold has really ignited. The leaders were just 0.2 of a second exactly, and Arnold, I think, did I see a right rear slightly lock up going through turn 5? Well, Hassan is really charging fast. 0.2 of a second. About 2 kart lengths between the pair of them at the moment. They've come through turn 7 and into turn 8, round onto the mid straight towards the boot. Hassan has really got a good toe here. It's bumper to bumper through the boot, through into the final couple of corners. Who's going to have the better run of momentum out of the final corner? It's definitely not going to be Hassan. Looks like Arnold at the moment. We've got 75 seconds plus a lap to go. So the gap just increased by about 19/100ths of a second, and it isn't over yet. Hassan is going side by side up the hill, takes the lead into the turn number 3. Well done. Nice clean move by Aidan Hassan. Timed it to perfection, but watch out, he's got AJ Arnold breathing down his neck. 48 seconds plus an additional lap. They'll have enough time with the pace they're showing at around 57 seconds. They'll be there or thereabouts, so it'll be this. And Arnold goes for the lead up into turn 7. I never thought I'd see that move coming. That was brilliant. Brilliant moving by the number 79. The pair now come into the boot. I think the gap is still going to be round about the same as we come through the final couple of right-handers. Oh, it's close. It's really close. And it's nigh on a piece of A4 paper between the pair of them. Going up the hill, 12 seconds on the clock plus a lap. So it's going to be around 1,800 metres or so that's going to decide this Heat 2 victory between AJ Arnold, who won the first encounter, and then Aidan Hassan, who's done really, really well this time around, has kept Arnold honest and in check as well at the very same time. Down into turn 7 and turn 8 they go, down the middle straight, heading towards the boot for the penultimate time of asking. Aidan Hassan also set the fastest sector 1 on this lap alone. And look, he's clawing it. He's really within striking distance yet again. But I don't think it'll happen right now. 0.135 of a second. Hassan sets the fastest lap of the race in the process. Up the hill they go for the last time. Hassan's got the momentum. He's got the toe. But I don't think he can make it work quite yet. That move from Arnold on turn 7 last time around was a real brazen one at that, at best, but really showed the pedigree. But he's been given a run for his money by Aidan Hassan and the number 64. So just a handful of corners now into turn 7 for the final time. Meanwhile, I've just seen Katsantonis and Rudman come into view in turn 7 from my commentary position. They're still battling hard over 7th place. So round the final couple of corners come AJ Arnold and Aidan Hassan, but it's going to be Arnold who's going to make it 2 for 2. Takes the checkered flag by a whisker. Quarter of a second when it was said and done. Oh my goodness, Skype! Sherry-Ann Powell gets nerfed by Ollie Wise, it looked like, on the final couple of corners onto the grass. So Ollie Wise, it's Sherry-Ann Powell. Oh, and there's now that was uncalled for. I don't know who was to blame for that one, but I think I think Mason Rudman and Joseph Katsatonis need to become a bit more amicable on the track rather than what we've seen. I was waiting for Tito Ortiz in an MMA USC fight to come along, but these two, I don't know, you know, okay, the initial contact, I have to say, yep, was justified that Joseph went back into position, but it does not need to carry on. Karting is a non-contact sport, and I won't be at all surprised if race control look into that. So